Welcome to Sunday League the Podcast. You know we can talk trash. If you ain't with it, you can fall back. Welcome to Sunday League the Podcast, the podcast. Welcome to Sunday League the Podcast, the podcast. Welcome to Sunday League the Podcast. You know we can talk trash. If you ain't with it, fall back. Welcome to Sunday League the Podcast, the podcast. Welcome to Sunday League the Podcast, the podcast.
What's cracking, you fucking bush leaguers, and welcome to episode number 66 of Sunday League the Podcast. I'm here by myself. My name is Bowski, and my gym socks stink as bad as my Red Sox. I'm going to go around the horn. I'm drinking a bottle of water tonight. It's a little late. The guys and I, we had a bit of a scheduling issue, so I'm going to go ahead and just try to knock this shit out on my own. Well, this episode has been brought to you by Anna's Bananas. Have you been feeling a little spotty lately and need something to put in your split? Or have you ever wondered what can go downstairs in pajamas? What about that missing ingredient for the nut bread you're baking? Well, these are ripe down your alley. So go to the store and get yourself some Anna's Bananas. She's got a bunch. Oh yeah. So fake ad reads, love it. Well, welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Had a crappy week. Not really. I apologize for the echo in my microphone again. I feel like I had a bit of a microphone issue last week. There was a bit of a click going on. And but as far as my week, my fucking cell phone, I cracked it. Like the screen and all that shit. So yeah, I look like one of them little ghetto girls with their cracked ass phones. Not fun. So I got to take that shit in and get that shit fixed. So hopefully that will get taken care of this week. On the other hand, we did upload a vlog for this week. I want to say it's vlog 18. DH plays baseball. Well, someone finally plays baseball on this podcast. That's not the Razor. So yeah, DH held it down on Father's Day, which was a few months ago, of course. And he was kind enough to a vlog for everybody, so you guys can go check that out in the YouTubes. Links are down in the podcast notes or show notes or whatever the hell down in the description. As far as fantasy baseball this week, not much has changed as far as standings are concerned. But for Sunday League, the fantasy team, if we have any hope of making the playoffs, well, Bree-Mag's dugout, is it 7:05 yet? No, it's 10:30. And 3-0 take, pesky poll. They all have to lose out the rest of the season, which is about 2 more weeks, and we have to win. If we have, we have to win the rest of the season if we have any chance of making playoffs. But it's not looking good as far as my other fantasy teams are concerned, though. I do remain undefeated in the Wake and Bake Beta league that I'm in, hosted by, of course, again, Sunday League, the podcast. And it's, it's just a bunch of our homies and shit. But I will be going on to be 17-0 with 2 ties. Safe to say that I will be the number 1 seed in the playoff bracket. Looks like I might be playing 0 Lux Given. I will update that next week. As far as my other 2 leagues are concerned, it's not looking too good. But we'll get there. So a couple fact checks for last week. I was talking about some circle chart thing. Had to look it up. And I was referencing a Venn diagram. So yeah, if you need any context, you can go back and listen to episode 65. Next fact check. Edgar Martinez was indeed in attendance for his statue unveiling. I think I had said I had questioned it, like, was he even there? He was definitely there. He was the other guy standing next to Ken Griffey Jr. So yeah, I guess, Griffey's the one that stood out, of course. Another fact check. It was me again. I'm always fact checking myself, of course. We were talking about the Field of Dreams game, and we weren't sure who the teams were supposed to play in the 2019 or the 2020 season. So originally it was going to be the White Sox versus the Yankees, which what it was this year. And COVID changed everything, of course. And when they rearranged the 60-game season, they rearranged to the White Sox versus the Cardinals. But of course, that game got canceled. So MLB went back to its original plan with the White Sox versus the Yankees. And we'll get into for 2022 in a little bit. Last fact check. It was about Tom Seaver versus Hank Aaron. We were talking about the brackets for the Little League World Series that's been going on lately, which screw the Little League. But they had the Little League Classic game today for the MLB. It was Cleveland and Anaheim that they play. We'll get into that a little bit. But as far as Tom Seaver and Hank Aaron are concerned, in 93 plate appearances, Tom Seaver, he pretty much owned Hank Aaron. So Hank Aaron had a slash line of 220, 290, 476. That's not too good. But he did hit 5 home runs off of him at least. So he wasn't very stellar against Tom Terrific. I did try to look up how many times he struck out against him. Couldn't find it. And one last fact check. As far as Dave Portnoy's role at Barstool, he was pretty much the main owner for a little while, and they sold some of their shares. And about 31% or so, something like that. I need to look at it again, of course. But it doesn't matter. But the point is, his role at Barstool is he still runs the website and all that. And he retains creative control over all content. So that's enough for that as far as our fact checks are concerned. Let's get into some Pepper. I have nobody to play Pepper with tonight, but the Field of Dreams game for 2022 has been announced. Who will be playing? It's official. It'll be on August 11th, 2022. It'll be the Cubs versus the Cincinnati Reds. So 2 old school teams. That'll be nice. It's the way it should be. Next thing, Joey Gallo. I don't know if you guys saw his post-game interview earlier in the week, but he did fart really loud in his stream or whatever in the post-game interview, and he made some funny faces. So hopefully we could get that up on the old IG. But yeah, it's never good to fart on camera. The New York Mets, they're leaning towards shutting down Jacob deGrom. Big blow for the Mets if that is to be the case. It seems like they're ready to cancel their season. They are not doing too well. They did squeak one out today on against the Dodgers to avoid the sweep, of course. Caleb Smith for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was tossed from the game for substance being found on his glove. He looked a little shocked. He looks like the kind of guy that wouldn't do that. So I'm afraid, I want to say that might have been a bit of a mistake, but only time will tell. We'll get a little more info on that in a couple of days, I would imagine. Next thing, Rugi Odor for the New York Yankees. In one of his at-bats yesterday, being Saturday, he asked the umpire for time right before the pitcher goes into his windup to pitch. He asked for time. The umpire grants time, and pitcher still releases the ball. Rugi Odor proceeds to hit a home run. And unfortunately, because the umpire granted time, the home run did not count. And the very next pitch gets rung up. Strike 3. Bad luck. Yeah. That's not a good look for baseball, in my opinion, but they both went through the process. Rugi Odor asked for time. Umpire did his job. He granted it. But Rugi stayed in the box, and he continued his at-bat and hit a bomb, but didn't count. So, unfortunately, that's life. Last thing for our Bowski's buffet, playing some Pepper. Chris Bassett for the Oakland A's. He pretty much took a ball to the face the other day and fractured his cheekbone and his maxilla. Maxia. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but he ended up having surgery, and seems like he's going to be okay, but he'll be out for a while. Let's get into some comments that Stephen Cohen said about his very own team, the New York Mets. Now, one thing that I always kind of have an issue with is ownership in general. And I really feel like Steve Cohen should have just kind of kept things to himself. But then again, like, he is the boss. He is the one that signs the checks. So maybe he's just trying to get his players to just do better. Just be better. And so the guy who signs the Mets checks has spoken. So what he said on Twitter, at Stephen A. Cohen 2, I guess is his Twitter handle. He has a blue check mark, so it must be official, right? So he says, it's hard to understand how professional hitters can be this unproductive. The best teams have a more disciplined approach. The slugging and OPS numbers don't lie. It's clear to me that Stephen Cohen probably needs to have a better relationship with his players and his team. I understand as an owner, you shit rolls downhill, right? So instead of, bashing your team, I don't know, do something different. But at the same time, it's not like these guys are trying to suck. Yes, the Mets have sucked lately, of course, but they're not trying to suck. But they suck, but they're not trying to. As a former ball player myself, former professional Sunday leaguer, your favorite professional Sunday leaguer. I don't think I ever took an at-bat for granted. Tried not to, at least. But as far as Stephen Cohen's concerned, maybe he's just trying to get his players, to do the thing. Kind of like how the owner in the movie Major League, how she would come into the clubhouse and pretty much bash them, and she took everything away. Maybe that's what he should do. Get these guys rolling. Let's get into our MLB week. I'm going to do this one a little quick this week, of course. So to get into our standings, a lot has happened since the last week, unfortunately. It's been a bit of a wild ride. The New York Yankees have been hot. They're 9-1 in their last 10, and they do hold the number one spot in the American League wild card, with Boston and Oakland tied for the second wild card spot at 70 and 55, both of them. Yankees at 72 and 52. American League division leaders, Tampa Bay, best team in the American League with 77 and 48. Houston, 73 and 51. The Chicago White Sox, 72 and 53. Some honorable mentions here, of course, the Seattle Mariners at 67 and 58. They're 3 games back of the second wild card spot. And the Toronto Blue Jays, 64 and 58, being 4.5 back. And I didn't mention that the New York Yankees have a 2.5 game lead on the second wild card spot. They are chasing the Tampa Bay Rays. They're 4.5 back, with the Boston Red Sox being 7 games back. Toronto 11.5 back of the division lead. Of course, the Baltimore Orioles suck. The 38 games back. You can pretty much count them out with their negative 233 run differential. The Chicago White Sox again. The only good team in this American League Central. The Cleveland Indians playing 500 ball. Everybody else in that division is trash. A little more competitive, the American League West. Houston Astros, Oakland A's, Seattle Mariners, Angels, 62 and 64. Not fun. Texas Rangers, they suck. Now let's move on to the National League. We'll start with the West. San Francisco Giants, the first team to 80 wins, sitting at the top of all Major League Baseball. 80 and 44. LA Dodgers right behind them, 78 and 47, 2.5 games back, with San Diego, Colorado, and Arizona trailing by a lot. 13 games back for San Diego. Shocking. They've been playing pretty bad as of late. 2-8 in their last 10. Dodgers 9-1. Giants 7-3. in their last 10. Onto the National League Central, the Milwaukee Brewers, 76-49. They're still playing good ball with a plus 117 run differential. Cincinnati Reds, they came up. So the thing with the Cincinnati Reds is they pretty much took over the second wild card spot. I'll go over that real quick. The Dodgers got the first wild card spot. Cincinnati Reds, second wild card spot. That's the only team in baseball with 69 wins. Nice. So they're one game up of the San Diego Padres, who have recently just gotten kicked out of the playoff run. Well, not exactly. They're only a game back, so hopefully they can pick it back up and make this a little more interesting. But it's not looking too good because they signed Jake Arrieta the other day for God knows why. They just need arms, apparently. And it's not looking too good for him. We'll get into that in a little bit. But back to the good old National League standings. In the National League Central, just to finish it out, St. Louis Cardinals 63-60. Chicago Cubs, they suck 54-72. Pittsburgh Pirates are even worse at 44-80. The more tight race in the National League East, Atlanta, they're now 5 games up of the Philadelphia Phillies of all teams. Braves 68-56. Phillies 63-61. New York Mets, they're under 500 and in third place, 7 games back at 61-63. The Nationals and the Marlins are irrelevant, but they can be a little pesky, I would imagine. I wish, had more time to watch more baseball. But as far as anything else concerned, I had just mentioned about Jake Arrieta. He signed with the San Diego Padres, and just to give a few numbers on him for the 2021 season, well, he's been struggling a little bit, recently in his career. His best season was in 2015. He did win the Cy Young Award, and he finished 6th in the MVP run. But he 2015, 22-6. 4 complete games, 3 shutouts, 229 innings. After that, it's pretty much how the mighty have fallen. He had a 1.77 ERA that season, and he is currently in 2021, 6 years later, with a negative 2.3 WAR at 5-12 with a 7.13 ERA, and his whip, 1.78, 77 strikeouts, and 89.2 innings pitched. He was with the Chicago Cubs earlier in the season, pretty much released, signed on with the Padres. And, that's batting practice for the Giants, for the Dodgers, and for the Rockies. Even in good old Coors Field. But moving on. Joey Votto, he collected a career hit number 2,000, so we can call him Mr. 2000. Joey Votto's a stud, man. For the season, he has a 2.4 WAR. He's got 28 jacks. He's been hot lately, hot. Got his batting average up to 280, very respectable at his age, and he's in his age 37 season. With 81 RBIs, slugging 575, OBP of 377, putting him at an OPS of 952. Those are some good numbers. I don't know. I think he has reincarnated his Hall of Fame hopes, to say the least. So shout out Joey Votto. He's great for baseball. He's a character, and I can listen to this dude just be himself and just talk shit all day. Freddie Freeman, he hit for the cycle earlier this week. And thing about Freddie Freeman is that we, as Sunday League, the fantasy team, did draft him number 1. And there's a running thing that I've been keeping track of with Lil Rube. And he was really pushing for Corey Seager to be our number 1 pick, of course. And just to compare their numbers for this season, and it's fair to say that Corey Seager, he never had a chance, and it's only because he was injured, of course. But he's 27, so he still has a long career to go, and he is pretty much in his free agent year, I believe. Just to compare their numbers, Freddie Freeman has pretty much played twice as much as Corey Seager, so these numbers are going to be a little skewed, but we're just going to go with the big ones. Home runs for Freddie Freeman, 27, 6 for Corey Seager. 70 RBIs compared to 31. And let's see, we'll go with batting average 300 compared to 279. OPS 913 to 812. But it's funny because I'm looking at doubles. Freddie Freeman has 16 doubles. Corey Seager has 14 doubles. And Corey Seager has 2 triples. So, I mean, it's possible that Corey Seager could have had the better season, but we just may never know. Shohei Ohtani, the best player in the goddamn universe. Now, Shohei Ohtani is the first to 40 home runs. And he hit his 40th home run on the same game that he had 8 innings pitched, gave up 1 run, and struck out 8. Of course, easily modern-day Babe Ruth. But the question is Shohei Ohtani in the running for the Cy Young? Maybe. So, notable American League Cy Young Award candidates are Lance Lynn, Carlos Rodon, who is on the IL. Excuse me. Let me rephrase. He is on the DL. Robbie Ray and Garrett Cole. All fair candidates here. Shohei has pitched 100 innings, and everybody else has pitched at least 10 innings more. The strikeouts per 9 innings, Shohei at 10.8, Robbie Ray 10.9, Garrett Cole 12.2, Carlos Rodon 13.1, Lance Lynn 10.3 ERAs, Lance Lynn 2.26, Carlos Rodon 2.38, Ohtani sitting at a 2.79, Robbie Ray 2.88, Garrett Cole 3.04. So I don't know. I don't know which way this Cy Young race is going to go. But it's fair to say he's definitely in the running. Shohei is definitely in the Cy Young running. But will he get it? I don't know. He might get a lot of biased votes. I wish I could elaborate a little bit more on how all that works. But unfortunately, I don't know. So maybe I should do a little digging on that. On this list is Lance Lynn. So Lance Lynn earlier this week, he got tossed from a game. He was coming off of coming off the mound during one of his starts, and the umpires go to check, his hat, his glove, and they asked him to take off his belt, but he was already in the dugout. He had to see the trainer apparently, and he took off his belt. The umpire asked to see his belt. He took off his belt and threw it at the umpire. He just kind of tossed it. He didn't throw it, and so his quote on why he was ejected, he yells at me that he needs to see my belt, so I toss it up and he throws me out. Obviously, I hurt his feelings. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I wasn't in the dugout, but it's kind of clear that that's what happened. But hey, next time you should probably just wait. You know the process. Just take your belt off and let them check you, and then you can go do what you got to do. But whatever. What are we supposed to do? He was caught up in the heat of the game, and competition, and all that. He wasn't thinking. He was just worried about having to see the trainer. Moving on to the next thing. I don't have too much details on this. It's just something that I kind of came across. But it looks like Major League Baseball is proposing a salary minimum of $100 million funded by a new tax on teams spending $180 million or more. I don't know. You don't mess with people's money, right? Don't tell me how to run my organization type of thing. So I don't know. Maybe this is going to bring some kind of salary balance to all the teams. We'll see where it goes. I'm not sure that that's something that's going to be approved. But again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's going to be something that gets talked about during the CBA a little bit more. The MLB and the MLBPA also, they awarded the next trading card deal license to Fanatics. So shout out to that. Good way to get the game expanded some more, to all the youth and all that. I'll dig a little more into that in the future. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's see here. The last couple of things that I have for this week. Miguel Cabrera, congratulations. 500th home run off of Steven Matz, of course. Came from the Mets, so he obviously sucks. So yeah, he hit his 500th home run. And seems like he is only 45 hits away from hit number 3,000. Looks like he might get it this season. He might not. We'll see. 45 hits away with, a handful of games left. It's gonna be a bit of a gamble. I wonder how much the books in Vegas are offering on that right now. Somebody do a fact check for me on that, please. Next thing, the Los Angeles Dodgers. They unveiled their City Connect jerseys this week. They already played in them. So all I can really say is LOL. Didn't like them. Not a fan. The jersey literally says Los Dodgers. If you're going to put Los in there, it's Los Dodgers. Come on. The jersey's all blue, of course. And so it's already the same color scheme. Has like a black drip thing on the sleeve. It's kind of like on the trim. The hat, it's all blue, of course. And it also says Los Dodgers. Not a fan. They look like big Smurfs. And my boy Lil Rube, I think he wants to like them. But I don't know. I don't know. Wish he was here to kind of give us his 2 cents on that. But I'll give you my 2 cents on the Little League Classic. I wasn't a fan of the uniforms. Just to mention, it was the Indians against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Indians won 3-0. And as far as the unis were, at first I was kind of like, I'm not a fan of these because my anti-Little League biased. But I must say they kind of grew on me a little bit. The more I looked at them, and I approve of the unis. Not that that they need my approval for that, of course. But the uniforms, they were cool. I liked them. I like the setting. Of course, they do it in the same spot every year in Williamsport. Seems like there wasn't too many adult fans. It was just strictly for all the little leaguers. So I kind of like that. It seemed like they allowed the big leaguers to interact with all the kids and all that good stuff, to help grow the game, of course. And I'm curious how much gear was given out to all these little kids from the big leaguers, just to help them, stay motivated and, basically get them fans. And, these kids will, they're fans for life, at that point. So shout out to them for doing that. But again, not a fan of Little League. And they did do on the ESPN broadcast, though. ESPN is the one that broadcasted that on Sunday Night Baseball. They did have a something called a kids cast. So seems like, I don't know, they just had a bunch of kids on there, and they held their own, just the little bit that they showcased them. But it did feature Monet Davis. Monet Davis, she is a former Little League legend, of course. She pitched, and she was pretty good. So, shout out to that, and big future for her. But I guess that's just about it for this week, guys. Not too much to really talk about this week, of course, to elaborate on anyways. And, for my boy Lil Rube, Padres and Dodgers coming up this week. So, he's going to be getting loud on the socials. Mariners, They're looking solid. They have 2 games against the A's coming up, a 4-game set against the Royals, and then they'll be playing against the Astros again the following week. So it'll be a good chance for them to make up some ground in the wild card, because they ain't getting that American League West. I'll tell you that much. At least I'm confident that they won't. As far as the Red Sox are concerned, we have a makeup game from today that was postponed against the Texas Rangers. We'll see how that goes for us. I mean, we stink right now. Somebody needs to throw them in the washer and, hopefully get something going, because, like I said, it's bad. It ain't fun. Oh, one fun thing at least, that not too fun, of course, for me, but it was announced today that the Red Sox and the Orioles are set for the 2022 Little League Classic. So I am looking forward to seeing those uniforms. We'll see how. Yeah, you can hear the sarcasm in my voice. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. And as far as the Red Sox are concerned, series with the Twins right after that makeup game with the Rangers, 3 against Cleveland, and then on to Tampa Bay. Not my favorite setting. And that's about it. That's about it for this week, everybody. So hopefully you enjoyed my sexy monotone voice. It is the best. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens next week. So don't forget to go like some shit on the old IG. Go watch some YouTube videos, and I don't know what the fuck else we got. Oh yeah, go buy something on the store. You can find all the links down in the description / show notes down below. So, all right, we'll catch you motherfuckers next week. Don't forget $5. All right, peace.